Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is one of my favorite video game series. I love the stupid little questionnaire, and I especially love, there was one of the games at least where you did the questionnaire, and then it was like, okay, we picked out what Pokemon you are, and then it was like, you could be like, no, I don't want to be that one, and swipe through all of the options anyway. That was kind of funny. They're cute. There was, one of them is like a watercolor remake, and that is really pretty to look at. It's fun to be a Pokemon, to learn the moves, to explore the dungeons. It's a good way to take up time and just have fun and be in this little world. And it's cute and sweet, even when it's dangerous or you get treated like a child the whole time, which is fair. It is a children's game. But also, isn't it kind of existentially horrifying? The premise is that you are a human who has been isekai'd into the Pokemon world. And it's a Pokemon world where there aren't any humans. Right? Like, they all of them talk about humans. Like, they know humans exist, but there are no humans ever in the games. You never hear the name of any humans. You never hear actual talk about humans. You don't really hear about trainers. You don't really know about humanity. They're more like legends and myths. But you used to be one, and now you're Pokemon. And in the logic of the games, after you beat the main story, you do disappear, like you go back to the human world, but then you come back. And it's kind of up in the air. Did you live out the rest of your human life and then die of natural causes and become a Pokemon once more? Or did you simply, halfway on your journey back home to our planet or whatever, the Pokemon planet, be like, no, I'll go back there. I like being back there. And so it begs the question, are you just summoned to this world? Did something happen to you that led you to this world? Like, are you alive back on the human planet, or did you die? Did you enter a coma? Were you summoned? I know some of the games have an actual explanation for what happened to you, but we don't know any details about your life. We find out at some point that you're human, but we don't really know much about your time as a human. What were your likes and dislikes? How old were you? Did you have a spouse? Did you have friends? Did you have Pokemon of your own? What was going on? What was your job? What were your dreams? What were your wishes? But now you're a Pokemon who goes adventuring and must save the world because it's an isekai. Isekais can be fun. And when they're, kind of like a afterlife type thing, there's not really much existential dread going on. You can buy into that pretty quickly. But think about becoming a Pokemon and knowing you used to be a human. Do you have phantom feelings? Do you remember what it was like to be in a human body? To have human fingers and thumbs? To be able to pick things up? To have knees, toes, and ankles? To be tall? To look like you do? To desire and be desired by other humans? Especially if you were a Pokemon trainer. Pokemon are animals. And now you're an animal with animal friends and an animal biology. Do you start to desire other Pokemon? Or are you left with your desire for humans and seeing all of these creatures as animals around you? When you get asked on a date in the future beyond the scope of the games, do you get grossed out? Do you say yes out of an acceptance of what you are now? Or do you say no because, ew, that's an animal? Do you view them as animals who can talk? Is there a certain bigotry that settles into you as you grow and you remember and you reminisce on your time as a human? What does it mean for you sexually, intellectually, They treat you as if you're a child. Were you one when you died? Or were summoned? Do you have the maturity of a Pokemon child? Have you been forced back into that? Or do you have the maturity of whatever age you were? If you were an adult, do you find yourself trapped not just in an animal's body, but in a child animal's body? What do you do with that? How do you feel? How do you think? When you look at the Pokemon jobs, what do you do about them? How do you pick things up? How do you learn to write, to enjoy music, film? Do they have any? Not really. If you used to own Pokemon, do you always view these new friends as friends, or do you start longing to capture them once more? What does it mean to be in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and to have once been a human? I think that's fun to think about. I think it leads to a lot of weird spaces and kind of creepy spaces, and it's uncomfortable, and it makes you be like, oh, I kind of don't want to be there or think about that. And that's fun. Bye.